Yeah, I mean, yeah. This was your
We
idea.
gotta come down to the place where we fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
You're watching the fucking
I
recording.
can't help it.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, what's up, guys?
For viewers at home, our good friend Colin couldn't take his eyes off of the waveforms coming through in real time on Audacity, the computer program.
And you sit here with the audacity to mention.
So the thing
This is a terrible idea. I'm sorry. You gotta cut it, shut it down.
Here's the problem. Is the thing is with Dumb Nerd Thing, we have a topic that that guides the discussion. That's fine, but also it forces us to talk about what that topic is and not the bullshit we usually talk about, which 5% of is appropriate for recording. It's various, activities. A lot of fucking Star Wars and Pokemon and Mario
And Skyrim too!
and Skyrim.
Skyrim too, yeah.
Should we talk about the new Skyrim game coming out?
New Skyrim game coming out.
Big news from the gaming world. I guess I'll do the honors here. So Elder Scrolls 6 Return of the
Mac.
Return of the Mac.
It says it right there.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be the biggest game since GTA.
I mean, this is the first time we've seen the Mac in like 20 years, right?
Oh my god.
It's true. They resurrected. For those of you who don't know, they did resurrect a long kind of dormant character from the lore from Morrowind, actually, much beloved by the fan base. So it's a big deal. Good for like the longtime fans for sure.
Yeah.
They're happy about it.
Didn't they did something back? Like, didn't they like have tweets back then or something that like the reason that we haven't seen them in 20 years?
They said, yeah. So they were talking about Polish people, and they compared them to. They said they were lower than dogs.
Oh my god.
So
well, they said this. Max said this, right?
Yeah. And that's just an abhorrent comment to me.
And that was
I'm Polish myself. Yeah. And Jack, aren't you Polish?
I am myself. Yes. That was before the whole hashtag Bring Back the Mac thing went so viral, and we all remember how that
Bring
went.
Back
I
the
remember
Mac.
that.
Gosh.
I remember that. Yeah, I
thought it was McDonald's.
Do you
so
remember?
I
Do you remember like where? Like I remember like where I was the day that happened. Like there's not too many moments.
We got
like
that trending.
Yeah. Like I remember where I was. I remember. I was standing in 7-Eleven. I was going to buy my drink like I usually do, and I saw on the TV. I saw
your usual drink is a Slurpee mixed with M&Ms, right?
Yeah. Mostly the taquitos.
You get the taquitos, you get the M&Ms, you get a Slurpee, and you put them all in one cup and you slur it together.
Mostly the taquitos on the roll.
He calls it a hot hurricane.
Mostly the taquitos, but so I was standing in line and I saw on the news Dumb Nerd Thing #1.
Yeah.
And
I thought we were talking about Bring Back the Mac.
But no, yeah, you're thinking of when we got to the top of the most wanted
when we got to the
list.
top, when we
And this is our way to get back down.
The day we made it, the day we rose.
I remember the day we made it. My mom actually, she gave me a call and she asked me. She said, "What's the deal with this new Harley Quinn movie?" And I knew that's when we made it.
That's right. Because I remember I was watching because when your mom said that, she was in front of a brick wall and she had a microphone and she was like, "What's the deal with this new Harley Quinn movie? I mean, didn't they just do one?"
Then of course later on in the episode we use our knowledge of Harley Quinn to make meth.
But I noticed that what your mom was saying tied into the events that were.
It's crazy how that
it was
happens.
like spliced in between like various events.
Yeah.
Yep, it's your mom is Jerry Seinfeld bit.
My mom is Jerry Seinfeld as Walter White.
So anyway, I think that having Mac as the central character of Elder Scrolls 6 Return of the Mac, I think will ultimately be good for the franchise. However, I am nervous that it will alienate new players. Colin, what are your thoughts?
I would definitely agree. I actually had something to say until you pointed to me and the words flew out of my brain.
Me personally, I would actually have to agree as well. So that's just me personally.
The
Where
problem-
I'm coming from
The
is I'm
problem-
agreeing.
the
No, here's the
problem-
thing. I'm agreeing.
No, let him talk. Let him talk.
Wait,
let him
I'm
finish.
agreeing.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Sure.
The problem.
Sure. Okay, go ahead. No.
No, I'm
go
agreeing.
Ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying what
Yo.
I'm saying is I'm agreeing. I'm done. I'm done.
Let him
Can
finish.
you elaborate on that? The problem with Mac as a character
Yeah.
is he's a guy. He's a good-looking guy. He's in a tuxedo, but his face is a giant crescent moon, and he
Yeah.
plays the piano.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
A lot of people like that. A lot of people think,
Maybe it's a
It's
little,
old school. It's
little
outdated.
insensitive.
Outdated.
Maybe it's
Definitely.
from a different time.
He's
from the
definitely
80s for
outdated.
sure.
It's from a different time, for sure.
Are there pianos in Skyrim already? Or is
Um,
Mac the one who brought music to the world of Skyrim?
A sort of Prometheus, if you
Yeah.
will.
So there's kind of two schools of thought. It kind of depends on where you stand. You could think that Mac did do that in Elder Scrolls 2, Dust Bowl, but
I'm thinking of it like a Madden title.
there's like
Skyrim 2018.
There's
Skyrim
like an
2019.
ATV. There's like one guy on an ATV, one guy on a jet ski, and then like one guy on a bike because those are the three vehicles you can use in this game.
Yeah.
For the first time, and the
Yeah,
first one
yeah,
you can
yeah.
only do ATVs. Anyway.
That was the big thing, like the Fallout 4 dog and all
Exactly,
that.
like in you know.
Fallout 4 Dog is
You're
also
playing
good
through
advice.
Skyrim and John Madden is commentating through the
But
whole
what you did though?
Hey, I'm John Madden. Hey, I'm John Madden.
I'm John Madden.
I'm John Madden, and welcome to the world of Tamriel. I think you should do a line out 6. That's always a good play. That's not.
What we
that's-
should have
that's
done,
not
what we
advice.
should have done here is a Fusro dog, okay?
Wait, instead of John Madden, I think it should be Mike Handling.
Mike Handling. Well, Mike Handling in the Sports Hour, we're trying. I mean, they used to sponsor us, so it's a bit controversial.
And we're back here at the Sports
We
Hour
need to
with Mike
have
Handling.
Rebecca on because we're gonna get a real actual sponsor for Dumb Nerd Thing.
Oh, that's true.
And I've written the
And also, all the ones before have been real actual sponsors. But then this is going to be a real actual sponsor.
This one I made
But
it.
the thing about irony poisoning your podcast
No, we're creating
with
an
sponsors.
established war.
We're creating an established world of Dumb Nerd Thing, including the Patreon, the OnlyFans, the merch, the sponsors.
Dumb
all of
Nerd
it is
Thing
real.
kids.
You at home are just not smart enough to find it. Okay, you need to find it. You need to Google more. Google harder.
Folks, if I could just take the reins for a second here, and if I could just tell you, just for a second, this holiday season about the value that you get with a Dumb Nerd Thing subscription. And now let me break it down for you, okay? So,
Break it down.
Gold tier, access.
Believe it or
all
not,
right?
our lowest tier because we don't do silver and bronze.
No.
We do
We
not.
don't do
no,
that
we
pussy
don't.
shit.
We don't do that. We do gold tier first, okay? Gold
I
tier.
shed a gold tier earlier because I made too much money.
Gold tier, you get select discounts off at certain stores that are affiliated with us. We are now up to 55 different stores
The
nationwide.
Banana Republic,
Banana Republic is our newest
Apple
one.
Republic.
Apple Republic,
Apple Republic,
Orange Empire,
yeah.
Mhm.
Agent Orange.
Grapefruit State.
Yep.
Grape.
Grape Democracy.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. We get some weird sponsors. Anyway, with Gold tier, I'm talking one thing. I'm talking access. All right. Now let's talk about access. All right. Nobody really talks about access anymore. All right.
So true.
So we get
Germany.
Germany, Japan,
Italy.
Italy.
milk, eggs, flour, salt. You know, like all these things for sure. But besides that, jokes aside, platinum tier, next tier,
That's right.
you get access to the Discord server.
Platinum tier is where you get actual access. Okay.
I'm talking
access to
talking-
the Dakota
I'm-
pipeline.
because there's
I'm
okay?
access.
talking. We are pulling the
And there's
curtain back,
access.
and we're showing you everything.
This is an
We're
audio
pulling-
medium.
We have done the dance of the seven veils, and we are on the seventh veil. You know, like we are
so true.
we are pulling it
We
off.
are
and
through the veil.
exposing
looking
exposing
veil.
ourselves.
I've
for
gone
sure.
through at least 6 veils.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're exposing ourselves.
I'm moving
left
on to
and right.
vials.
We're
I got 'em
exposing ourselves.
right in my arm.
Why? You've
It
got
was-
vials in your arm?
Yeah, isn't
And
it?
with all the exposure that we're
Like-
doing
like
with
heroin?
ourselves,
A syringe.
You gotta
is different
see.
from a vial.
you just gotta
It's a
see.
vial.
Okay.
A vial doesn't have a needle.
Now, let me break it down.
A vial
one
is just
more
a container.
Last
This
tier
is
for you.
almost a vial.
Well,
A
almost
cup
vial.
is a vial.
On Dumb Nerd Thing Diamond
A
tier.
A cup is to a vial as a syringe is to a vial.
Luxury, pure luxury
So
and
am I.
decadence is,
No,
I guess, the only
and that
reason-
neither of those are
the only
are
real two
syringes.
words I
Well,
can
I've
use to
got it in my
describe
arm.
the diamonds here.
You've got a
on
cup in
Dumb
your
Nerd
arm.
Thing. With the diamonds here.
I got a couple of these nuts.
Oh!
With the
My
diamonds
eyes
here,
go
you
cross-eyed.
you
My
not
mouth
only get
opens, my
access
tongue unrolls,
to every
the
post
egg
that Dumb
is
Nerd
at
Thing
the
has ever
end,
made,
cracks open,
in
Loki's
addition to
paper says,
Patreon
"Ouch."
specific, patron exclusive content.
You want to talk
You
about the new
also
Suicide
get-
Squad?
Yeah, let's talk
So
about
join
it.
our
I
Discord
hated it.
server. That's
Yeah.
a given.
Yeah.
You
You get
watched
to be
it?
an admin
I watched
of the
it.
Discord
I hated
server.
it.
Okay. You get to
I-
make your own Discord servers. All right.
I hate James Gunn.
And then after that,
I
we
understand.
just go
that.
from there. You know,
I
like
understand
whatever
that.
you want to pay for.
The thing
we
is,
can
James
do,
Gunn's.
You know? We are free. We are liberated. We are don't really
like as a commercial,
we don't
as an
care about
item. James
things
Gunn
like
as
what
an
you got,
item
or like
to
you know, how
consume,
much money you have,
not
or
good.
how like ugly you
I
are.
agree.
We don't really see
I
that,
agree.
right?
But
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 do
I
I
go
care?
deeper than that. I hate him as a man.
We just
Why?
try to stand by the community and try
Well.
to just do right by pretty much all gamers everywhere, really.
I mean, do we want to get into this? I'll get
Anyway,
into
so
this.
that was my little spiel on the Dumb Nerd Thing tier list, and I think that I think that if you guys think hard about it, I know times are tough. With like money
So,
and stuff.
Lego set just leaked.
But
what?
And you know what? Let me tell you a little story actually. So
You'll never guess it in a million years.
an
It's
old
one of
man
those
was
creator
once walking
ones,
down the
and it's
street.
What do you mean creator ones?
with
You know,
$2 in his hand.
Seinfeld, Friends, Sesame
Oh, okay.
Street,
1, 2.
Big Bang Theory.
Can you give me some hints? So I can
He sees
guess?
another man on the street. His dollar's all gone.
popular Netflix show that might have had a couple.
He's sad. He
seasons.
says,
Umbrella Academy.
"Brother, can you spare $1?"
Nonfiction.
He says, "Absolutely." Gives him $1.
The chess one.
Walks down the street. Sees
Think
another
that was
man
fiction.
Queen's
with
Gambit.
another $1
Yeah.
that just blew away
not
in the wind
reality show.
and asks for the other $1. And
Oh,
you know, I think that's basically kind of like
the dating
like,
show one.
I think that's basically
No.
our thoughts on Mac from Skyrim.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Next
They
topic.
had to make custom hair pieces for the minifigures.
Next topic.
Jersey Shore?
No, good guess.
Survivor.
Friends.
Queer Eye.
Oh!
Yeah, they're getting
wow.
Lego set.
Queer Eye Lego
I was
set.
just about to say our next topic should be the Friends Lego set.
Actually, what's cool about the
I
Queer
would get the
Eye...
shit out of the Friends
Actually,
Lego set.
what's cool about the Queer Eye Lego set is that they are bringing back an old Lego piece for it.
Oh God.
It's the Mac. The Mac Lego piece is coming back. It's not. It hasn't been
return?
used in 20 years.
You lied to me.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's already been there's already been a clip of us singing "Return of the Mac" on some
Twitch.tv/Dumb Nerd Thing.
on some game.
Is that Twitch.tv/Dumb Nerd Thing?
Yeah,
All day.
Wait, what game were we playing?
I think
All
Smash,
day.
but it could have been anything. It could have been anything. It could have been.
The Jedi Fallen Order.
We gotta get back on that. I was just about to say we gotta get back on
Bounty
that.
Hunter.
Oh yeah,
If you're down, we can get
I'm
back down on it.
I'm down to play Fallen
Back
Order.
down on it.
You should play the Force Unleashed Sith one where you kill Obi-Wan.
Yeah, the Force Unleashed DLC where you kill Obi-Wan, he comes back as this Force ghost, and then you kill his Force ghost by throwing him into the Millennium Falcon. It's great.
Yeah. I'd watch the shit out of that playthrough.
Did you ever meet Sam Witwer?
No.
Damn.
You?
No. You've got you have a lot of like you've met Jim Cummings, you've met
I have. I met Stan Lee.
Forrest Whitaker, Stan
Rest in
Lee.
peace.
You met the Nostalgia Critic.
I met Nostalgia Critic.
You
Rest
met
in peace.
who else?
He had, I'll say this about the Nostalgia Critic. He had impeccable breath.
Is that a fact? Oh, I couldn't even get the fucking words out. Why? Was he brushing his teeth previously? Wait, isn't it a
Okay,
thing?
can I tell the story? I'm going to tell the story of meeting the Nostalgia Critic a little bit.
Wait.
So, I went to C2E2 many years ago, and at the time I was in a very dark place. And so, YouTube was just content.
Young people.
As it is now.
Young people
I'm in a
make
great
rash
place. YouTube
decisions.
is just content.
I was in a bad place, and YouTube was just content to consume. And here's the thing I really understand about people that watch things like Cinema Sins and Nostalgia Critic is that it's like you get to watch a movie but not have to put the emotional investment into watching a movie.
You also don't have to put 3 hours of your time into it.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes.
And you can just put it on and you can
Especially for, like, your
dig
favorite
around.
movie.
You can jerk off or whatever while watching the Nostalgia Critic. It doesn't even
Did he just go there?
it doesn't even matter.
Probably peeked the mic.
And so I saw that Nostalgia Critic was going to be at C2E2, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to meet him, just because Like,
I would totally meet him.
It's-
to this day.
it was free. He was just there.
Also,
like-
he seems to be a nice guy.
Seemed a nice guy. So
His content is fucking
went to the C2E2.
crazy though.
Found him. He was at a booth. You know, he wasn't like you had to go wait in line or anything. You know,
He's one of the most popular.
you didn't have
YouTubers
to.
ever.
He wasn't like signing autographs with
Left and
next
right.
to like Forrest Whitaker. He was
Who we
just
met.
he was at a booth next to Sergeant Slaughter and Lou Ferrigno. And so then I go up to like greet him and whatever, but he was brushing his teeth and he's like, hold on 1 second. He goes and he turns and he starts brushing his teeth. And I'm like, all right, that's a bit
Jarring.
Wait,
it's a bit jarring.
is that true?
It is 100% true.
I thought this because you've told this story before. I thought it was a bit because he brushed his
No,
teeth
no,
in
no,
the
no, no,
movie.
no, no. That's the second half of this story that you're spoiling.
Sorry,
So
this is blowing my mind.
I know.
Right now.
So I greet him and he's brushing his teeth, and then he spits into like a jar he has, and then I'm like, hey, can I get a picture? He's like, sure. And then his brother, who I don't give a shit about at all, because it's like, whatever. No, his
Rob
brother's
Walker.
fine.
He's like, me
His
too.
brother's fine,
me
but
too. Do
his,
it to me too.
his brother like helps with
Spit on
writing
me.
and like.
I'm the nostalgia critic's brother. You should spit on me too. My name is Davy Jones.
My name's
and
the Mac Walker.
My name is Mac Walker, and I like to be spit on.
Ugh.
And
Donald is
he,
going to send us a cease and desist, and I will say no.
if we don't get 3 cease and desists from this episode, I say we
Who
failed.
sings Return of the Mac? Is it like Rob Royce or something?
Mark Morrison.
Oh,
sings Return of
Mark
the Mac.
Morrison.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Do you want me in the photo too?" I'm like, yeah, sure."
That's okay.
So,
Oh, I want to be.
so like then I get a photo and like his brother's like cut off on the one side.
My name
Anyways,
is Mac
so it's
Walker.
fine. Years go by. Years. You know, we're getting a
I'm picturing
Time
pages
lapse.
coming off the calendar.
time
like,
lapse of
daily.
trees growing leaves. Trees grow trees, and those trees grow leaves. and
Jack's
those-
nuts on a leaf.
and that leaf wilts and falls.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a-
Colin just learned a fun little story about me.
I'll have to tell
Which
you
I can
off
tell.
the pod.
Is this an NSFW podcast?
Yeah, sure. But let me finish this.
You might want to hear this interlude.
SFW. So then, Colin, you come up to me and you're like, I'm getting into the nostalgia critic
No.
as a topic.
I didn't know who he was. I asked you. I was like, who is the nostalgic? Because you sent me something, like some meme, and I was like, I don't get it.
Probably the Oni plays or something.
No, I found that out after
Oh,
because
okay.
of that. But it was I think he was like a Smash character. Like,
Oh, okay.
so
That
I
makes
was like,
sense.
and you were like, isn't that funny? I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, an innocent, a
So-
virgin.
So
I
we
had to
watched
corrupt
a
you.
lot
I
I
had
of
can
to
his-
corrupt.
a lot of his content.
I have to.
So then-
I have to inflict the hurt.
The
that I
nostalgia
received.
critic became something of an interesting topic of study in our house, and we watched like 10 minutes of one episode, and then you found out, you did your own research, we found out about the movies, and we watched To Boldly Flee,
Yeah,
the movie
against
that
my
he
will.
made.
You would only put it on when I was too drunk to turn it off. and that did just so happen to be a lot of times.
This is a 4-hour movie that he made with a bunch of other, but you know, Lindsay Ellis is in there, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yes, she
some,
is.
some Angry Joe, your nemesis.
I'm afraid of him.
you fear him greatly. And then at the end of the movie, the nostalgia critic goes through a wormhole and comes out
Too much lore.
and meets Doug Walker himself in the real world. And we're watching this. It's 4 a.m. We're drunk as hell. And Doug Walker appears in the movie and he's brushing his teeth. And I freaked the fuck out. That he was brushing his teeth then, and when I met him, and it's like this like convergence of reality and fiction.
Good God.
It
That's
freaked me
awesome.
out. So that's the nostalgia critic for you.
Just a little bit of that.
Doug Walker, I love you. Come on the pod.
My conclusion,
Sometime.
after researching him thoroughly for a year,
Yeah.
he makes cringy and embarrassing content, but he seems like a fine. Like the content is not like not to talk about him, but it's not like Chris Chan, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
No. And it's also not like it's not as bad as it's not cringe. It's not.
It's
It's,
not sa-
cringe. The content itself is cringe, but the fact that he's making it isn't cringe. 'Cause
I
he's-
agree.
It's popular.
I agree.
People are watching. He's making a living off of it, and he gets it. He knows.
A common like gripe against him that I see because he's like a, let's say, low hanging fruit, like an easy target, and so sometimes a lot of people like feel bad about making fun of someone like that, so they justify it. A common like justification I see is that like, oh well, he's making fun of these, like he's a bad person because he's making fun of these movies that like people put effort in. Like Sony Studios put effort into this fucking movie that Doug Walker's making. It's like, no, these movies are, no. He's reviewing, like, I mean, is he doing a good job? It's not for me to say, but no.
Yeah, it's weird that he tries to make official, actual points in his comedy reviews.
I think he
often
seems
has
to be going more in that direction.
He always has to create straw men.
Don't. If you say let people enjoy things, I'm gonna jump over this table.
Just, for the record, for the Dumb Nerd Thing community, this is Jack. This is old Uncle Jack here speaking, by the way. I do not associate with any Channel Awesome content or any discourse surrounding such.
This is old Nuttin' on Leaves, Uncle Jack.
This is, for legal reasons, I have to say that I have nothing to do with any Channel Awesome content.
And any videos you might see me in.
I openly refute it. I despise it. I renounce it. And anyone who abides by it should be converted.
I guess they did have a ton of controversy that apparently he was complicit in.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
They're also super fucked up to their employees and did a lot of really fucked up abusive shit that like is.
From what I've seen, which was not much at all.
Doug Walker, he seems
was...
He seems like he was like very like aloof of it all. Yeah. I just think he just doesn't really care about other people that much.
I think
he's just not interested in it.
He's business incompetent.
Yes.
And it's fine for him to be video incompetent because he has such a following. And he makes fine content. Yeah, but if you're business incompetent and it results in
like real life consequences
real
for people and their like money and like livelihoods.
It seemed like it was I watched maybe a video that I probably fell asleep through and wasn't paying attention to. It seemed like it was not him but the other guy. And it seemed like he was, because I would have loved it if
Mac Walker.
I would have had a field day if Doug Walker was it.
Wow.
But he stays winning.
What if like we like in a sci-fi like future, like there was like we went to war with McDonald's and there was a Mac Walker that we had to defeat. And it had like a huge
like an AT-AT?
And like it's like one of those things where it's like you're like roaming around the map and then you come across it and then like the bar and name like come across the top of the screen.
You're like a boss and it has the house.
And like a symphony starts playing.
Exactly. But it's an open. But like if you run away, like you can get out of the zone and like evade it.
I hate to break it to you, but if we're at war with McDonald's, I'm obviously the villain.
You're obviously the Benedict Arnold of the war.
The crosshair.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's like a bird person type thing. Like you get captured by McDonald's and then like turned into like an.
It'd be pretty easy to capture.
Actually, no, you definitely go there consensually. For sure.
You're the guy from The Matrix that goes back to The Matrix.
Yeah,
Ralph Cifaretto.
Instead of eating the steak, you're eating a Big Mac.
That's Ralph Cifaretto.
Ignorance is bliss.
He's on The Sopranos. I guess he has a really bad relationship with David Chase.
Oh, yeah.
There's a photo of him.
David chased him away.
I can't spoil it because Jack is in the middle of it, but there's a photo of him in his last scene, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, please don't use that photo because I have young kids.
I assume he dies.
Please don't use that photo.
It's unclear. They call him Ralphie MIA. He could have gone in the Whip Pro. There's just no way to know.
Most bit characters
And
die.
he was like, please don't use this photo because I have young kids. This would be traumatic for them. And they went ahead and used it. And I guess he swore. That's why he hasn't been on the Sopranos podcast.
Oh. Talking Sopranos. Come on our podcast. Let's do a crossover.
With Michael Imperioli and Steve Schripp.
We'll talk about Breaking Bad.
That would be
all right,
hilarious.
Dumb Nerd Nation. This is old Uncle Jack signing out. I have to go to a place
Might as well pause
to
here
attend to a matter. But yeah, it's great hanging with y'all.
While you're gone, we're gonna tell this Nutting on Leaves story.
Keep it real. Keep it OG. Keep it vegan. And
Do you want to tell the story before you go?
All right. Basically, how it goes is, and me and my ex-girlfriend were
Mid-coitus.
together.
One thing led to another.
In a forest.
Yada yada yada.
In a patch of forest. And
Yada 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 sex.
there was like a little, like a big leaf, broad-leafed fern next to us, and I nutted on the leaf.
That poor leaf.
What?
That poor leaf. I do nothing.
I would do anything to be in that position.
To be the fern.
Yeah, I would
Anyway.
open my mouth like this. Ah.
So that's why somewhere out there is a tree man.
There's a half
Half Jack,
Jack,
tree.
half fern.
Half tree, and his life is constant pain.
That's
Alright.
beautiful.
I will hunt him. Anyway, I do have to. I get a little distracted by the sound waves.
You get distracted by moving objects.
And knowing that I'm on record.
Flashy things.
Loud noises.
It's just you and me now. No Jack. And it's kind of awkward because we always only hang out with Jack.
That's right. That's
and
right.
we only know each other through Jack.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, now we can say all the shit we were gonna say about him.
Oh yeah. God, Jack is such a fucking good friend. It's a fucking piece of.
He's so loyal that like when he jerks off, I know he's thinking of me. He's like he's like
He did name his plant after you. So.
what? He has a plant?
Yeah, he named his plant after you. So now you know that when he's jerking off onto his plant.
Under the leaf.
The idea of a half plant, half Jack man out there, or woman, or them, out there somewhere, you know,
But they make good firewood.
it excites me.
Yes. I would like to be in that monstrosity's life, I would like to be the villain that's trying to hunt it down.
You
And
often,
like put it in a museum or something.
you're wearing like the tan safari outfit with
Yeah.
like tan shorts and the shirt
That
and then that bowl hat.
Colonial hat, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have an elephant gun. I'm also
an elephant gun. It's like a small like plush elephant with a gun sticking out of its mouth.
I also
It shoots smaller elephants.
I also am like interested in a woman, and like she has these really 3 cute, adorable kids that befriend and help. And I'm a real dick to those kids. I'm like, listen, kids, I'm only after your mother because she has money,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire situation.
Yeah. Harry and the Hendersons.
Never saw that one, but
Well, Harry has sex with the wife, the mother of the family. Since you've never seen it. Since you've never seen it, that's what happens.
Harry is the husband, I assume.
Harry is the Sasquatch.
The ape. Gotcha.
It would be a really lame movie. It was Harry and the Hendersons about a father, and then the Hendersons being his family.
yeah.
Just 90 minutes of John Lithgow being a
A lot
father.
of great family dramas. John Lithgow is in. Just got cast for the new Martin Scorsese movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, along with Brendan Fraser. I want
Okay.
to say Leonardo DiCaprio.
Both Brendan Fraser and John Lithgow have some of their best performances in TV shows, being
Scrubs.
Doom Patrol, and
Mike Stacklasa loves Doom Patrol.
he does, and
According
he's
to-
right for loving it because it's
It's
very
good.
good.
I heard there's like no action.
You heard that from Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know it existed until yesterday.
No, I love Doom Patrol. It's awesome. It's so good. Brendan Fraser's like not just a meme. He is really good.
But Brendan Fraser's a great actor.
I know, but
I
like,
see a meme.
but like, he's the resurgence of his career is a meme. You know, of like people loving him.
Which is fucked up because he quit acting because
Right, but it's like a
bad
wholesome meme.
situation.
It's like, oh, he got a bad rap, and we need to like I don't even mean necessarily meme in that like it's a bad thing.
No, I know what you're saying.
But like oftentimes like Keanu Reeves is a meme.
Definitely.
And he's good at what he does.
No, he's a
but
bad
not.
actor. He's just in good movies. And he's not. And I haven't even seen a good
No.
Keanu Reeves movie. I never saw John Wick, and those are supposed to be very good.
Yeah.
Did you see John Wick?
No, I've never seen one.
Did you see Nobody?
No.
Well, then this is completely
I've
lost on
seen
me.
Breaking Bad.
But I was told that Nobody was very John Wick-esque, and I saw Nobody, and if that's the case, then I would probably be fine skipping John Wick. Not that it wasn't good, but it was just it's a lot of very well choreographed action, and that doesn't really keep me entertained.
I love some well choreographed action. It's missing.
You may like Nobody, and it's Bob Odenkirk. Who doesn't love Bob Odenkirk?
I love Bob Odenkirk. But my point is that Brendan Fraser, beyond the meme, is a very good actor. It's like People mean like, oh, he got a bad rap, and where was he? He was like a 90s, early 2000s icon, and then he disappeared, and then people learn the sad story of what happened, so then they're like, okay, well, let's bring him back, and there could easily be a world where he comes back and he's not good, because he's been out of acting, and he was acting in a lot of, like, whatever, but he's incredibly charming, and he's very good in Doom Patrol, and he has to do a lot of, like, he's doing voice work for most of it, because he's playing a robot man. Actually, Robot Man is the name of the character.
Some sort of robot man.
And yeah, he's amazing in it. And Matt Bomer is also in it, and he's one of those American Horror Story.
Who's Matt
guys.
Bomer? The name sounds very familiar.
He looks like every white man.
Let me pull up the. Can we get that, Tony? Can we get that on my?
We get Matt Bomer, not Matt Boner.
Whoa,
Don't you dare type that in.
He's got a big dick.
He's kind of like a pretty boy, and in the show he plays a character who I think he's doing mostly just voice work for.
I don't,
because the character is completely wrapped in bandages, and he does an amazing job as well. Like it's just everybody in the show does a great job, and
I have not seen a single Matt Bomer movie.
Actually, a lot of it is based on the Grant Morrison run of Doom Patrol.
Grant Morrison, who you took a class on.
No, I did not. I took a class on Neil Gaiman.
Damn.
But I have a tattoo of Grant Morrison.
Imagination is the fourth dimension. Fifth dimension.
Fifth dimension.
What's the fourth dimension?
Don't worry.
Damn, they are grilling out there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I want my burger with extra sauce.
I have burgers. I could cook as burgers.
Could you grill them?
No. I could ask them questions intensely.
I feel like the Brendan Fraser meme is not like. A lot of memes are like, this is something I know, and I don't know much outside of like what I saw growing up, so therefore it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to say this on the podcast. We can edit this out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I have the audio, but I don't know how to edit. But you can teach me.
What do you want to say?
There's a meme going on right now, and it's like you take a critically acclaimed movie, especially one that's has a reputation of being liked by, we'll say, 16 to 21-year-old demographic, usually white males, and it's like Fight Club, Pulp Fiction, what's the fucking Boondock Saints?
Mm-hmm.
I think to a certain extent, The Godfather, Goodfellas.
Yeah.
No, I think The Boondock Saints was not a good movie.
Yeah.
But, and then you say, oh, actually, Camp Rock, Barbie, Rapunzel in Dreamland, Megamind, these movies are actually better. Aren't you triggered, bitch?
Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm too busy having sex.
Yeah. It's like there's the people who like love those memes. Love those memes. People who like do that in real life, and there's the people who like get mad and react. And I feel like they're having their own little war. And then there's the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I like to think I live in the rest of the world, but Instagram only shows me stuff designed to make me, irritated. And I'm like, I don't care about this. Why?
Well, you
and
get
then I
irritated.
see like fucking Marvel memes. I don't like Marvel.
Oh my god, Marvel memes. I'm really curious about what Marvel's reputation is going to be like in 5 years and 10 years, because like I feel like right now it's kind of dipping. It's dipping a lot.
I think they had 10 years max. I feel like Marvel movies are the zombie movies of the previous decade.
Yeah, I mean, people were saying that people were just guessing that we had superhero fatigue way too early, and I don't know about
superhero fatigue at fucking Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's what I remember being where I like Age of Ultron. I remember walking out and being like, okay, well that sucked, but it had Hulkbuster in it, and I love Hulkbuster, so it was epic. It was epic. I
remember seeing it with my dad, and like we would go see those movies in theaters, and like, it's I don't follow Marvel. This is of course in 2012. I don't like really care, but these are popular movies and they're kind of entertaining, and I'm not really a superhero guy, but it would be fun. Now I can't even fucking stomach to see one.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would if you were going to the theaters and you're like, you want to come with? I'd be like, yeah, I love to go to the movie theaters. And I leave it and I'm like, yeah, that one sucked. But I hate, because I was thinking about this. Do I hate superheroes? I feel like now I do, but I didn't always. And, like, it's just the fact that these movies have such a grip on everybody, or at least on, like, culture. And just the style they do them in, I just find so irritating. And, like, I mean, I guess that's what I'm going to say about every, like, thing that becomes the big thing for 10
Well, what's
years.
annoying is that, like, Disney plays it so safe.
And Disney owns them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm a hypocrite because I still keep up with Star Wars.
That, like, you know, back in the day, we had some power over, like, superhero movies because there would always be some, like, trash. Like, you know, the Spider-Man movies, legendary. And then you can be like, well, Spider-Man 3, like, studio interference and, like, a bunch of bullshit happened, so it's, like, it's a crazy fucking movie to watch.
I remember thinking it was weird
You know,
even when I saw
You know,
it.
X-Men,
I was little.
the X-Men franchise had a grip on culture, and then X-Men 3 happened. You know, Star Wars had a grip on culture, and then the prequels happened. You know, back in the day, we had some power over these franchises because the studios kept taking missteps, like huge, massive missteps.
And also, like, you voted with your dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if a movie was bad, everybody in the world didn't see it.
Yeah, and it's like now, I mean, Disney and Marvel don't take like enough of a huge misstep that it matters. Like Black Widow is, at the end of the day, it's fine. You know, it's not as bad as Spider-Man 3 or X-Men 3 in terms of like missteps. Is it as ambitious as either of those? No, but because of that, it doesn't fall as far. You know?
Yeah, it's safe, like, in, like, the worst way.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, who the fuck cares?
But it's much harder to argue that something is bad because it's safe than argue something is bad because it takes a misstep.
Definitely. That's kind of how I feel. That's, like, my biggest, like, guilt about The Bad Batch.
Mhm.
Is it's, like, it's not good at all. And it's like being touted as, like up there with, like, Star Wars, like, greats. Like, whether or not you think the sequels are good, I don't. But, like, that's a big Disney thing. The Mandalorian was a massive success that everybody, you know, including me and you, loved. And now they're like, and now our thing is The Bad Batch. And The Bad Batch is just fucking, like, like it's not, like, technically bad, but it's kind of bad. And it's not good.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I still watch it because I, you know, I keep up with all things Star Wars. And I just feel like, you know, it doesn't matter what they put out, I'm going to watch it because I'm a real piece of shit.
I feel like personally I'm a very good barometer of like how things are doing in the fan base because I'm a very loyal fan. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched Agent Carter. I watched several seasons of Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. I watch anything that comes out. I watch Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier. I watch every episode like the day it came out.
Yeah, that's how I am with
You know,
The Bad Batch.
Because I just have to. And even I am not caught up with The Bad Batch. And a new Marvel show came out, Marvel What If, and I have not watched it yet. And this is like a week or two after it's come out.
What If is such a weird, like...
But it's exactly what I love the concept of What If. I actually...
Such a weird thing
I
for
wrote
this
fanfic of
Marvel.
What If.
Did you?
I did, for the MCU.
When?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyway, like, What If to me is like it's a very interesting concept, and it's like if you're gonna do whatever you can to tell an interesting story, and you need to like mess with like quote unquote canon,
Mm-hmm.
then that's more power to you. But I get the feeling that it's not the case.
Well, the thing is that What If is like a safe way. Like, the problem is that it's less, I want to tell an interesting story and ignore the canon, and more,
What if one thing changed?
I want to mess with the canon, and that, the fact that the canon is being messed with
is
is
interesting in and of itself.
And I'm not saying that about the show because I haven't watched it, but I'm definitely saying that about like the concepts and the comics. I mean,
But the whole appeal, at least to me, of the MCU, because I've always been like, man, I wish I liked these movies because you've got endless
trash.
Endless trash. Fuck you. Just watch this crap. And I can't even bring myself to do it. One, I've never been interested in Marvel, so that's a very high barrier to entry. Two is like, well, not two, but the reason that this is all good is because they make this whole cinematic universe that like you're very well rewarded for your time.
Yeah.
Especially if you've like watched stuff outside, like fucking Snoopo shows up from the Captain America comics. Snoopo is a fan favorite villain who has
crazy.
Both his arms are guns. I don't know, whatever the fuck you want.
There is the Punisher villain whose arm is a gun.
Punisher villain, I just found out, is the same guy who writes Punisher, the same guy who wrote The Boys.
Yeah, the most famous Punisher author, I would say, would be Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis, that's it.
Who wrote The Boys as well. And hot take, The Boys comic is... it's not good to read right now. There's a lot of slurs. A lot. To the point where it's like, I know that the people saying the slurs are wrong and bad and treated as such in the comic, but the amount that they're saying it is like a lot. And it's like, I'm not sensitive to that, like, oh, I'll read Huck Finn, but like, Jesus Christ.
I'm glad you're taking a stand here.
Jesus Christ, but I love The Boys TV show a lot. The Boys, and actually you should check out Invincible.
That's what I've heard is it's The Boys, and I haven't finished season 2, but I haven't started season 2 only because I know that once I click that first episode, I will finish it. However long, without breaks.
Boys season 1, so good. So good.
I love it. I love The Boys.
Yeah.
I'm
so glad you like it.
It is so, like, I haven't forgot my original point, but it is so... because you had always talked about it, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to, like, it might be anti-superhero, but it's still a superhero show, and it's so anti-Marvel and DC.
There's the race between the two speedsters.
Yeah.
Right? When they're at the race, and Billy Butcher's in the audience.
And he's staring
at Captain
America, or
oh
Homelander.
My God.
Great.
So fucking strong.
He's because they're so fucking the superheroes are so fucking evil.
Yeah.
It's like delightful.
What's absolutely insane for anybody that's seen The Boys but not read the comic, and I've mentioned this before, I think the best example of why you should just not even bother with the comic is that in one of the first issues where what's the kid's name? Huey joins the boys, and they have a little... They come into conflict with some superheroes. Butcher is like, all right, everybody inject your Compound V.
Yeah.
And all the boys inject the superhero serum into them, and they inject it into Huey, and then they go and have like a brawl with a superhero. And it's like, well, what's the fucking point?
Great, you've ruined the show.
You're a whole fucking superhero now.
You've ruined the concept. But the TV show is wonderful.
Incredible, yeah.
To get back to my earlier point, Marvel, the continuity is their strong point right now. Mm-hmm. So that it has always been. But, you watch one movie and it's going to pay off in another movie. Whether that's, intertextuality, whether that's a good idea or not, it's up for the viewer to decide. So What If is like, now all that...
Well, here's what's exciting about that. And this is part of so the first one is like...
Is it a cartoon?
It's a cartoon, yeah.
Gotcha.
The first one is like, what if...
It would have to be.
Instead of Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter gets the superhero serum.
Yeah, I did know that.
And so the reward is you, as somebody familiar with the canon, is now looking at all the things that are different. So now Tony Stark's dad is inspired to create an Iron Man armor back in World War II for a young Steve Rogers that doesn't have the superhero serum. Super soldier serum.
I see.
So, but because you are familiar with the canon and you know that Howard Stark's there, then you know that like he's inventing this thing and all that stuff, and you're able to be be able to like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that should be.
Tony Stark's dad is, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong about this, Ooga Booga Big, Ooga Booga Strong, I'm gonna sing my Ooga Booga song.
Yes, he does. The actor that plays him as an old man.
He's probably more well known for what was that
He's in so
movie,
much stuff. He's a very accomplished actor.
The priest not a documentary, but
Out?
no. Mark Ruffalo's in it.
Oh,
It's like star-studded and it's like extremely slow. And
The Post or something.
no, it's not the Post. It's about the people who
Steve
uncover
Carell, I think. No, that's the other one. That's the other one.
the people who uncover the priest scandal
Yeah.
in Boston. What the fuck is everybody's yelling it at their TV right now? Oh, what the fuck is his name? He's in Mad Men too.
John Slattery is the actor.
No, it is. No!
It is. John Slattery plays him because he was cast as old Howard Stark.
Spotlight.
There we go. He was cast as old Howard Stark in Iron Man 2. However, a different actor, who I believe is in Boardwalk Empire, plays young Howard Stark in Captain America the First Avenger.
What about Captain America Civil War? That's the only one I've seen. It must be John Slattery.
That is John Slattery.
Because that's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
described. He's in Desperate Housewives.
there's actually a kind of a cool thing in Captain America Winter Soldier. And this is, for anybody at home, whoever gets mad at me for not knowing Marvel things or not knowing MCU things. In Captain America the Winter Soldier, there is a quick
Some sort of
newspaper
Winter
article
Soldier.
that shows that the Winter Soldier is responsible for Tony Stark's parents' death. And what they use is a composite photo of in between the young actor and John Slattery for the news article. And I remember back in the day, even noticing that and then looking up and seeing the Reddit posts about like, oh, how cool is it that they used a composite photo from Iron Man 2
That's
and
the way
Captain
to do
America
it
1.
for sure. Too
But
bad
then-
it was fucking Disney, so fuck them. I'm gonna turn my mouse off because we're not using it. And then I'm gonna be like, why isn't my mouse working?
Squeak, squeak!
Gotta catch this mouse rat. It's getting away.
We're talking a lot about Marvel. We don't need to.
Yeah, if you get a couple drinks of me, I'm gonna
Get me
complain
going.
about Marvel and the Disney.
Get me
shit.
going.
You're gonna talk about Star Wars?
We're talking Star Wars.
'Cause there's a What If show coming out called
There is.
Visions.
Yeah, that's. There's been one. This is not the first What If for Star Wars, though.
You're right. But here's the thing. I don't. That's funny. It's Michigan.
Yeah. We have a Michigan pillow here.
I don't give a shit about what if with Star Wars because Star Wars doesn't deal with like multiple timelines and Star Wars is just about it's a very small and simple story,
Yeah, Star Wars
which is
doesn't-
why it's great.
It doesn't have big enough of a universe for what ifs to be interesting. Yeah, like what if Dash Rendar was the one who met them at the Mos Eisley Cantina?
Well, the one I always see is what if Luke or Leia joined the dark side? It's like then the story would fucking suck. What would be the fucking point?
Then they would turn evil and the good guys would lose.
Yeah.
End of story.
and Yoda drives a Death Star into Coruscant. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about that.
Infinites, that's what it's called.
I understand that, my understanding is that the novels were pretty poorly told or, or not well received or something like that.
The What If comics?
Oh, they're comics?
They're comics, yeah. Star Wars Infinites.
But I also think that outside of that, it's just a stupid, ignoring canon because you have to tell a better story, that's fine. I also think that, parameters are there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Parameters will inspire great art, so if you work within the parameters, you'll wind up getting a better story than you would have.
Yeah. What ifs? I mean, Star Wars could only be interesting for what ifs if the what if is on grand enough of a scale.
Yeah.
We're like, what if Palpatine succeeded and created a Sith Empire that lasted for 1,000 generations and that spread across the entire galaxy and created thousands of Sith
You have to keep it
soldiers,
close enough to...
and this was 1,000 years in the future. Is that going to be interesting? Maybe not. But
You have
It's
you have
more
a lot of
interesting-
room to work with.
that's
there.
more interesting than what if Luke died on Hoth.
I also think like you have to keep it close enough to like your source material, otherwise it's not a what if. Because Palpatine, like, what if Palpatine created a Sith Empire and then 1,000 years in the future this happened? Well, why don't you just say that 1,000 years in the future a different Sith created a Sith Empire? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know what? The only Star Wars what if story I think was successful.
Oh God.
The Force Awakens.
Ah.
What if 30 years later? I mean, it's not. It doesn't change anything, but it's like that's to me is like as close to a what if as there is. In Star
I just
Wars.
realized. Okay. Here's the thing. There is no difference in the galaxy between The Force Awakens and
A New Hope.
no. Well, yeah, but no, yeah. But there was no
don't
difference in
know.
the galaxy
I don't know what
between
you're
Force
gonna say.
Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. They destroyed the Republic that was introduced in Force Awakens.
Well, are we talking lore or story wise? Because in the lore, the Old Republic, the New Republic, I mean, is established as basically as soon as Jedi ends.
Right.
So it's 30 years.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, there's a big difference between the galaxy and
Oh, at
Phantom.
the end of Force Awakens and at the end of Rise of Skywalker? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
I don't know. Say what you're going to say. I'm tired
I'm
of
gonna
guessing.
say there's no difference between like over Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith. A lot of stuff changes in the galaxy
Yeah.
between New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Mostly everything changes because of Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, yeah. If Empire and Jedi were never made,
Mm-hmm.
then you would watch New Hope and be like, oh yeah, the Empire's dead.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's a but yes.
My point is, I guess what I'm really truly getting at is a point I've made many, many a time before, but never necessarily recorded, although probably recorded at some point.
Yeah, we'll talk about Star
Is
Wars.
that
That's awesome.
is that there's no difference. Fuck, I forgot already what I was gonna say.
It's the status quo at the end of Rise of Skywalker. So
Please.
don't let me lose your train of thought, but Phantom to Revenge of the Sith changes the status quo. You go from a Republic to an Empire. A New Hope to Jedi changes the status quo. You go from an Empire. You take out the Empire. Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker. You go from a New Republic and you squash like a bug, and you're still the New Republic.
Yeah, because like at the end, I mean, at the end of Rise of Skywalker, like, is there a new government or something? I don't know.
But for all intensive purposes,
yeah, there is.
it's the New Republic.
These purposes are very intensive, and they have
I said porpoises.
these porpoises. These dolphins are very intense, and they there's no difference.
I just want to clarify. I know it's intense and purposes.
Do I
Say
care
it's
about the
funny.
lore necessarily to make a good story? No, but I think that's telling that like nothing.
It's indicative of a bad plot.
I guess that's the big difference in like the MCU and Star Wars is that Star Wars does not reward you for knowing things. Star Wars has not ever rewarded you. Nothing of new Star Wars has
certain
rewarded
things
you.
better than others. The Mandalorian, I don't know that it rewards you. It reminds you that you know things.
But like a senator in Iron Man 2
Hold
turns
on.
out to be-
A lot of stuff in Star Wars is remember this.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. There's remember this, and there's rewarding knowledge of the lore.
Sure, but explain because I feel like a
So like
deep
the
cut
difference.
reference.
The difference is at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan hands Luke over to Owen and Aunt Beru, and they look out onto the stars and they look out onto the twin suns, and that's the same shot that's in A New Hope. It's the same shot that's pretty much in Rise of Skywalker. And that's a repeated shot, and you're rewarded for knowing that shot.
Okay, fair enough.
In Captain America, the Winter Soldier, there is a senator who's revealed as being
A Nazi.
a Nazi.
A Nazi?
And that senator was introduced in Iron Man 2. And in Iron Man 2, he's a huge asshole who's trying to
Stop
mess
the
up
Iron Man program!
Iron Man's life. And so you're rewarded for recognizing him as an evil senator.
Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough. It's hard to gauge that without
It's a little
specific
different.
examples, but
Yeah.
am I rewarded for knowing that the animal on the stick in the first episode of The Mandalorian is a Salacious B. Crumb animal? No, but it's a reference nonetheless.
This is such a highly specific podcast.
I know. But yeah, no, it sucks. Sorry. We made a bad
Hey,
podcast.
go watch everything we've mentioned. Then come back and listen to
We're
this.
not. It's not like we're referencing Holy Mountain, Star Wars, and Marvel.
There's that section where he turns poop into gold, and I don't know if that. I don't know
That's
exactly
what we
what that's
do
supposed
here
to
on
mean.
that podcast.
That was one part that stuck out as something I didn't truly understand. Although I feel like there was a lot of Holy Mountain that I didn't understand.
I did not finish Holy Mountain. I fell asleep, but it was very late at night. And Holy Mountain is it's more like a painting than a movie.
You know what's interesting is nothing at all. But you should check out Evangelion.
Yeah,
That
a long way to go before we get there.
I know, but you got to The Boys.
Yeah.
And okay, this is something I was gonna say. The Boys, as a comic, came out in the mid 2000s or so. Okay, comic books and comic book fans and comic book creators are where you are now, 20 years ago. Okay, and we've been like the idea of people being
If
like
I wrote comic books, I would fucking hate superheroes. And
people
I hate superheroes now.
talking about superheroes as tired and these concepts as tired. Comic book fans have been familiar with this and have been asking for more interesting and new ideas and have been getting interesting and new ideas in comics for quite a long time. However, those interesting and new ideas have either not been adapted or have been adapted poorly. Something like Civil War, Captain America Civil War, is a far more interesting idea in the comic and explored more interestingly in the comic than it is in the movie. You know, 'cause that's actually like talking about the concept of whether or not superheroes should be registered. You know, it's talking about freedom versus government. You know, liberty versus law.
So it's actually about something.
It's actually about something
And
instead of
not just like, what if we disagree and then we
a
all
bunch
fight
of people
for 25 minutes and then
fighting
everything's
in an
back to
airport.
normal at the next...
it's a bunch of people, some of which are not even on set and are put in for
That
CGI.
sucks.
Tom Holland wasn't even cast when they filmed that.
God, that sucks.
Fighting on an airport next to the Bluth stair.
Well, interesting, very interesting, sets, Like, a lot of people think, your fight should be interesting and the background should, enhance that.
There should
but,
be stakes as
there
to
should be
where the
stakes,
fight.
definitely. But I really like the dull and drab, all gray. I think there's even a gray fucking sky. And
Yeah.
it just looks like complete ass. And it just sucks. Just everything about it.
We really need Jack here to say,
Shut the fuck up.
The shit sucks, bro.
By the way, this is Colin speaking of Dumb Nerd Thing. And I'm just here to tell you that this all sucks. Let's pause and get a beer.
Alright.
If I may.
Yeah,
I
let's
hate
pause.
to